Yeah. Back again, mother lovers. What's going on? What's going on, world? How you lot feeling out there? This is my Stiggy right here on some shit you might not never know nothing about. That's right. The podcast is back as we usually are. We do our best to do Wednesdays, of course. I'm here with my co-host, Dan DNA. What's going on, bruv?
Good. Different shot there.
Yeah.
That camera there.
We're giving you angles, man. We're giving you angles. Look. See that? And we're still deep in the blue planet. What's going on, brothers and sisters out there locked in? Thank you for coming and joining us on this lovely Wednesday evening, hump day. Man, I had a good day. Just relaxing.
We've been doing.
Because I had a bit crazy night. It was a good night last night, man. I was down at Jazz Cafe representing for Big Bro Ty. May he rest in peace. They had an event, no long thing. Man, it was, you know what I mean? It was special, man. A lot of people turned up and performed in memory of the great brother. Yeah, it was amazing, man. You know, very emotional night. His mum and his sister turned up, and they got handed a plaque that had been made for him. So yeah, man, you know, and saw so many people, man. I can't even remember all the names. Shorty Blitz, Terry Walker, Yari from One Extra, man, Shawnee T. I saw Scheme, Big Cakes was there, Logic, Tremendous, the Freshers crew was there, Ty's band was there, Vula, LaDonna, and yeah, the whole band were there, man. Richard Spaven, you know, Eric Apapula. It was like, what? And yeah, so, you know, his spirit was there in the room with Jazz Cafe. A bunch of people turned up as well. I saw Tommy Evans there. Ryan Proctor, shout out to Ryan Proctor. It was like, yeah, it was really, it felt good. And obviously because, you know, we ain't been out that much.
Yeah.
So it felt good to see people regardless. And also there was a shout to Apex Zero as well. It was just that kind of energy of like, yo, we need to come together more, man. We need to communicate more. You know what I mean? We need to be more open to each other. You know what I mean? And it felt like that all the way. With so many different people, like Heidi, Vogel was there, man.
But it's the first time that people have been out since he died, though, isn't it? Because he died during COVID, so people haven't been able to really get together. So it's sort of like a wake.
Yeah, you know, in a sense, you're right, because the funeral had to be watched online because, you know, no one was allowed, or only a couple of people were allowed, and so you know, even that was just surreal. Yeah. So it was really, 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 really strong emotions. Shout out to Chris Bounce. Chris Bounce was there. Psycho Mantis. Them lot was spinning it up. Jesus, I know I'm missing out people, man, but yeah, it was amazing to see the love that people had for him. Shout out to Drew, producer. Yeah, and you know, that energy there, it was needed, you know, like definitely, like you said, it was like the wake. It was like people needed that. It's called Pass the Torch, which is the event that he used to put on at Jazz Cafe. Shout out to Scandus from the Freshers. He was the one that actually, you know, kind of curated everything and got it together. That must have been mad hard work, because the amount of people on stage, you know, here, there, coming on and off was amazing. Saw Rodney P down there, Black Twang. Jeez, bruv, yeah, it felt good, man. And like I said, the energy, you know, I was there till, you know, like one of the last few people outside. Yeah, man. Like, you know, it felt like that. It felt like old school, where you just enjoyed being out there and, you know, chatting it up with everyone, man. So, yeah, it was good to see people, man. Shout out to Sai. I met a guy called Sai as well. He said he might get a radio show on Represents or something. But, yeah, definitely the torch got passed. And I really think that we should be doing that every year, man. We should be representing for Ty every year, because, you know, the stuff the guy got up to, and the amount of people, I was saying it to Apex Zero, like the amount of people there that he's helped, you know, like a lot of us artists that are there up and coming, or obviously on an independent level, in some form of way, he always got in touch, or he would post my stuff, but he wouldn't tag me. But he posts, and then he'll say some he'll be like, look, man, support somebody that's doing what they love, and like saying, like, it's like he's talking through you, you know what I mean? Like, he knows what you're going through, doing all this stuff. So, yeah, man, like, when it comes to selfless in terms of promoting younger artists than himself, like people that were coming up, as well as his peers as well, like, he really did it, man. I know that for sure. Wicked. That sounds good. Yeah, man. Let me shout out the crew. That was Pass the Torch, yeah. So shout out to everybody that was down there. And yeah, man, I think we should definitely do it every week. Who's in the building, man? What's going on, brothers and sisters? Right, Rapciano P. Shout to Black Einstein. Shout to Nicole Kisser. Shout to Uncle Barry O. Yes. Peter Lewis Kisser in the building. Yee. Yeah, ma. See it there? I knew she was there somewhere. Yeah, man. It felt good, man. It felt really good to, sort of gather together and, just share each other's thoughts and whatnot. Shout to Turbo Tuberculosis. I know it's Tubulicious, right? I said that's what I said to him last time. I was like, yo, I swear I thought I said tuberculosis. Shout to Tubbs in the building. Yeah. Rumble 2EV, what's going on? Yeah, man. He says, big up my Stiggy and DNA. Kings, yes, king. Yes, man. All royalty. You know what I mean? Princes and princesses, kings and queens, you're all royalty. That's how we roll as king. That's why, as king, you only do the asking. You only learn. You know what I mean? You ain't got to say nothing else but that. Shout to Blue Fliggy. Shout to Gleam. Woo! You already know. Farma Beats. Yeah, man. It's going to be a fun one tonight, brothers and sisters and mother lovers, bitches and bitchettes. All right, should we get into some of this?
First, we got
housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Yeah, shout out to DNA, boy. He's always coming up with these little tricks and tricks. You know what I mean? Just throws in something new every week. We've always got to do that for you, man. Yeah, man. So, what we got? We got Born Lippy.
Yeah.
Linda's Farm. We got to find out about this holy island. Told you I got to bring the King James version. If I'm really going to do it, I got to bring the King James version, man. So I'm going to be down there on, September the 3rd. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, September the 3rd, yeah.
September the 3rd. I can never see it from here. A big ass screen, but my little ass eyes. Don't laugh about my eyes, man. People think I got some East Asian in me, but it's only when I'm high. Yo, Stanley Odd is going to be down there with me. Imogen Sterling, Jackal Trades. You see the flyer right there. Myself, going to be hitting Born Lippy. It's a poetry stage. So, I'm really looking forward to do that. Got to make sure, get everything tight. You can do it at your own tempo as well. You ain't got to worry about the beat too much, D. Yeah. This is the thing, like, people might not never know nothing about that.
Yeah. It's a challenge and it's also liberating.
Yeah, it is poetry. Liberating.
Yeah.
You can perform more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, when you're doing it. It's similar like, back when I was first starting and I was getting into battling, we always did it. It was always on a beat, and you could freestyle or you had some things ready or whatnot, but it was always on a beat. So, but nowadays they do it a cappella. And with that, there's so much more that you can throw in terms of performance. That's why I appreciate it. Even, people be like, oh, yo, they should be rapping on the beat. But I'm like, nah, man. What they've turned it into, what it's become, is real performance right there, man. You could, almost theatrical sometimes.
I used to go to a lot of poetry nights and, being white. And,
being white.
And they are. It's like, you're right. You get to feel every word as they say it.
Yeah.
Rather than missing lines, you get to really appreciate a line.
You get hung.
And they can leave a space. You can leave
word.
space for a line. You can leave space for a punchline. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, you know, it's fun. It's a lot different, obviously, than, you know, jumping on stage, screaming your head, but at the same time, yeah, I enjoy it, man. So, yeah, catch me down there if you can.
Next.
Or up there, I should say. Next up, so we got the date now for Bristol, Lost Horizon, Mother Lovers. It's a Thursday night, 30th of September. I'm going to be down there with Wishmaster and Billy Wiz and Alley Cat. So make sure you come down. Tickets are available from losthorizonlive.com. Oh, man, I'm looking forward to this. Should be a good crowd down there. Lost Horizon, what's that? 1 to 3 Elton Street, St. Jude's, Bristol. Come down there, bitches and bitchettes. And no, we don't discriminate. That's housekeeping right there.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. All right, so housekeeping with you, Mother Lovers out there. Will you lot blazing on? Blazing on. Who you lot blazing on out there, man? Let us know, you know what I mean? We always got to find out what new flavors are out there that we need to get tucked into. You know what I'm talking about. Yo, so I'm looking forward to this one tonight, man. We're going to be talking with a legend from these shores. People know already, man.
Shall I
paved the way. Yeah, because we got to test out this Skype anyway.
Shall I bring him in?
To make sure.
Carry on talking.
Yeah, a legend, man. This guy, boy, what can I say, man? McBain brother. That's probably one of the first things I heard was starting off the McBain brothers. And I was like, what? And I think it was, I think it was Mark B who produced the track. I was like, yo, this is crazy. You know, like, it was like cutting through the air. Ching, ching, ching. Like, some crazy rhymes, beats as well. The beat was off the hook. And, yeah, man. And Farms was just going in, like the style that he had. I've never heard that kind of, you know, that's what it felt like hacking away at the beat, ching, 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 like his voice piercing through as well. And then the lyrics, it was just like vocabulary that was like, oh, I was like, wow, what does that mean, you know? And yeah, so it was and then I started learning more about who Taskforce were, and then obviously started working with the Low Life Camp, and then we'd done a few shows here and there, man. You know, the amount of work he's put in and the amount of people as well that he's influenced, you can hear, like, you know, Taskforce, you can hear Farms. It's just like, geez, that's why Dalai Farmer. You got call it the Dalai Farmer, man. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him and catching up.
I'm going to try and bring him in now then.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll try.
All right, and then we got the Mice Investigates coming up as well. We had to find out from some of the people out there something really important as usual. This looks good.
Right.
Okay. Here we go. Right. I've got the Zookies. Okay. Rumbles on the cookies.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, man, I can hear you.
Oh, you can. What? All right.
Let me just bring you up.
What's going on, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Dalai Farmer. Yes, bro. Oh, the reach out. Yeah. What's going on, man?
Hold on.
Farma Jesus.
You got me, yeah?
Yeah, can you hear us? Cool.
Set.
Oh, yeah, I sound a bit.
Yeah, I've got a delay on Maestro.
Have you got a delay? Yeah. Yo. Hey. Yeah, it's gone now, isn't it? No.
What's the best thing for me to do? Listen to the Skype or listen to your YouTube?
Listen to the Skype.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because it might be a delay on the Skype.
Yeah, there's a delay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there is, isn't it? Yes, bruv.
Hey!
So you on some renovating?
Yeah, man, look.
Jeez. Wow.
Did all the floor today. It's a big room, look.
Oh, that's decent, man.
But you can't really see it, man.
What are you getting done in there?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a building site.
This guy start working a studio. Like you putting a studio in there or?
No, that's my sitting room.
The temptation is there though. The temptation is there. Yo, it's good to catch up with this brother, man. Been a minute. As usual. Been a minute as usual.
Oh, it's always been a minute.
But bruv, you got me pumped up, man, when you told me this news. When you said
the £10 bag.
Jeez. Say that again, bruv. Say that again.
Did you say £10 bag?
Yo. Yeah, when you said mice, I'm working on another £10 bag. What are you saying? I was like, what? Like, what?
You know what? I wasn't expecting the response, at least from the artists. I expected like heads to be fully in. But yeah, I've been having to turn people down, and then ones like say, "Sorry, son."
Yeah. Oh, serious.
Yeah.
I know it's been like, yeah, because you what is it? It's like 20 deep or something, isn't it?
No, you're 30 deep now at least.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Serious.
But
well, that's you can carry on then, isn't it? Listen.
At this screen, because I'm looking at myself talking and I'm behind myself. Yeah. Hey, can I not see that screen, Dan?
Which screen?
The other option is to look at I could try and bring Meist into the call actually.
Oh, what on here?
Yeah.
Ding ding ding.
Keep working on it.
Ding ding ding.
Let me just turn you off so you don't look at yourself.
Yo.
Yeah. All right, that works.
Okay, that worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Lewis Kissers on the ammo. All right, see.
So what's going on, Mice, man? Talk to me about something.
About yeah. So listen, man. I want people to all right, £10 bag, yeah. If people, this is shit people might not never know nothing about, right? The £10 bag. Like, how did it get started? Because obviously, the Louis Slippers thing is with the band. But where did the idea come from? Were you around when it was happening? You must have been.
You know what? I think Louis might have just said, yeah, can I have permission to put Taskforce presents? And he must have just asked us for a couple tunes. And the rest is really history, man. But it was really just because he obviously was our DJ, and he was just like, look, can I bless the Taskforce presents bit? And it was like, yeah, obviously, Lou, you know what I mean? And like they're amazing pieces of work, man. They sound spontaneous, and I don't know if I can capture that same thing, because when you get older, you start getting a bit finicky and picky, innit?
Yeah.
So like it's like a £10 bag album, really, rather than it's not really a mixtape such anymore.
Yeah, I mean. What, so in the sense of like, yeah, because you're saying the sporadicness of people in and out of tunes, and you might 3 or 4 people on one track, or
yeah. And True Louis I'm not a DJ, so, and I ain't got turntables. Like True, you could just do a little cut and a blend and a this and a that. But so my project is more. I mean, the vinyl is just going to be like a straight up album, like your track, Jest, a heap of other cool artists, Kashmir and all these kind of people. But then the CDs, I'll kind of try and return it more to there'll be some skits on there. There's a couple people that people would be laughing at because they wouldn't expect it to pop up on one of my projects.
Serious.
A couple celebrities dropping some £10 bag wisdom and all them.
Yeah, because it used to have that. I remember that you'd have the skits of like the drunkards and that.
Exactly,
dropping their knowledge, boy.
Yeah.
Yo.
I can't go up to drunks and give them a pound or a can. You know what I mean? Because that's what Louis used to do. Louis used to get a couple of cans of Kestrel or whatever, some strong beer, and just go and give it to them and say, yeah, do you mind saying a couple of things? And, Louis Slippers, you wanker, and all that business. You know what I mean? That's how we got all that. I can't really do that now. It looks wrong, and it feels a bit wrong as well. You know?
Nah, I hear that. Well, I mean, I guess then you're shifting it into a new phase. It's been a while anyway. When was the last one? It was like 2008, no? Or something like that.
I ain't got the foggiest.
Like,
I can't even tell you what day it was yesterday.
I hear that. But I mean, what I'm saying is you're taking it into a new phase anyway then, by doing it this way. You're still calling it the £10 bag because that's what we all, people are attached to that name. Regardless of now, it's more like 40, £50 bags. If you know what I mean? If you want to import, it's probably like 70, £90 bags. But that's another story, man. We ain't even going to get into that.
Inflation, boy.
Yeah, you know what? It's a whole new world. That's what Bluefoot said, £100 bag. And
that's
it's
what
true.
I'm saying. No, for real. When I said to myself £10 bag, and then I kind of publicly said it, then when I started thinking about inflation, I thought, no, maybe I missed the trick on this one. But maybe the CD is going to be called £20 bag.
Yeah, you could probably pull that off, man. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be well worth £20, you know what I mean? If not a £20 bag.
No, mate, I'll probably do some dodgy dealing stuff and chop it up into smaller bags and charge twice the price.
Like, chop it up into EPs and shit.
Exactly.
So you've been putting in some work, Farms.
Yeah.
Putting in some work. I'm looking at the catalogue now on the Bandcamp. And yeah, like the drive, are you just 24/7 making beats, writing rhymes?
No, mate, it's a job. It's a job.
Yeah.
It's my my wife. My wife is a social worker. She goes out and does the nine to whenever, and I'll try to bring in the weddings this way. You know what I mean? And together we just run the household that way. But it's a job. It's a non-stop, constant thing where I have to move, and that's why it's relentless. Because if I don't make no money, then I ain't paying the rent. You know what I mean? And I like making music, nice. So I can't lie. It's a gift.
I'm glad you said that, man.
It's a gift from the universe to sit down and make music, and then someone say, "Yeah, let me have that," and I say, "Yeah, this is it," boom, and they give me some quids.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, I mean, you're doing it the right way, bruv, because the names that I'm seeing, how did you manage to link up with so many people across the pond like that?
First and foremost, I linked up with Mark Conley.
Oh yeah, Mark Conley, yeah.
He's like an underground legend in the US. The way he sells his records, like he's not on digital. You can't get his music anywhere apart from on his website. He's not on social medias, and he's like an enigma. But the guy hangs with people like Jay-Z and all these kind of big ballers. Do you know what I mean? And mate, he used one of my beats. They used a couple more, and after that, everyone wanted a beat from me. So yeah, and I found a connection with Rome Streets, and his rise to fame and popularity has been really, really cool to see. As you know,
definitely,
I'm of a certain vintage, as you can see.
Doing it well, bruv.
And
look like you could pull a rabbit out of a hat.
I could pull one out of my beard. But,
man, it's got that old school superhero look, man. It's the streaks, like the way the beard works, and the
it
streaks.
Like I got shot by lightning, innit?
Yeah, like you got some superpowers, bruv. Definitely.
Bro, listen, yeah. So Ron's just been doing, it's like youth work, that's what I was going to say. It's like, for me, it's like youth work. I used to do youth work. That's how I met my wife. She was my boss. And it feels like that because these guys are the same age as my oldest son. So it's like, it feels good because it's a way of giving. I feel like I'm giving back something.
Yeah, for sure. And you're giving it back in a good way, bruv, because like, man, the amount of stuff that I've heard, and I'm like, right, that's Farms, and you're like you said, up and coming artists that have got the skills, and that because you've come from that, what they need. And it's funny that you said your wife's a social worker, because I was like, oh, works with children. I was like, yeah, so do you. Like you're a social worker as well. So it makes sense, do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, just bringing these lot up. And then obviously like moving on to, you're like, all right, we've got to do a £10 bag thing. What made you want to do that?
Because I kind of not fell out, I don't mean like falling out, like arguing, but I fell out of the UK thing a little bit. And, sometimes I'm like, Mice, I'll be honest with you, I love American hip hop. Yeah. And that's the way my root, you won't really find me listening to UK hip hop too much. No disrespect to any artists or whatever, because excuse my language, there's hundreds and thousands of really good UK rappers and producers and whatnot, but I don't even really listen to US hip hop really, but I'm inclined to listen to US hip hop. I felt that, because me and my brother ain't been doing Taskforce, and so I'm completely out of the picture with what's going on over here, and I know all the old heads, SI, you, Mice, and so I just thought, you know what, on a nostalgic journey, I could just, maybe I could see what can crack. And you know what, I've had such a good time reconnecting with like people like yourself, Just, Essa. Like, it was so nice to see these guys in the flesh. And we should do a video for your one as well. We just need to find someone who's ready to do. Like, it's mad because everyone wants to do it. The video, the film, whatever you call these people, videographers, videographers. Thanks, Mike. The videographers want to do it. The artists want to do it, and I'm like, well, let's do this, man. And it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, man. So I'm happy. It was just nostalgia that drove me in that direction, to be honest, because I'm a bit out of the picture. You know what I mean?
No, I hear that. You know what? To be honest, I feel like, in a way, what you're saying about being out of the picture, a lot of people kind of felt like that anyway. Like, we've all kind of grown up, and then you've had to carry on with your life, regardless of whether the music is part of it or not. But then when you're at a place where it's like, I've got time to do this now. I can actually focus on this and really go for it. In a way, I think a bunch of people, in a sense, had that same kind of feeling. And you bringing it together like this, I think is like giving everyone that form of nostalgia. Like, yo, I bumped into last night? Tommy Evans. Tommy Evans, Jazz Cafe, outside Jazz Cafe. I was at, Ty's memorial thing, past the torch. Yeah, and I see Tommy Evans, and it was just chatting, and I was like, yo, and started reminiscing about, you know what I mean, that whole era, and that we're here, there, everywhere, bumping into each other at different gigs or whatnot, or, and so, like, in terms of you, when you dropped the £10 bag thing, it brought that energy to me, and so I was like, I'm sure other people are feeling the same way, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say Tommy Evans, because I can't remember what happened, man, but we just kind of clashed somewhere along the line.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
That's why you were bringing it up. I thought you were going for a cheap.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. That always happens, man. Now I know that, though. What? Nah, Joe. Nah, man.
Tommy Evans, I know I said some funniness on some record about him, but yeah, I'm sure. Whatever, innit, man?
Yeah, I mean, it is, man. We've all said little bits about someone here and there. It goes. But boy, people are excited about this £10 bag thing, bruv. Shout out to DJ Lock. There's a few heads in the building, man. So, all right, can you drop any names? Who's on the £10 bag, or have we got to wait to find out? I know it's on Revogue Records, right? It's coming out on Revogue.
Yeah, well, the vinyl is on Revolt.
Yeah. Okay.
The vinyl has 12 tracks. I'm just gonna try and find. I'm gonna try and find a playlist or something. I can't remember where I put. But
yeah, bro.
You should tell the people about your track on it, because your track's gonna be on the vinyl.
Woo, bruv.
We'll say,
I'm telling you.
It was such a surprise that you chose that beat.
For real?
Yeah, because I don't think anyone's heard you on a beat that slow.
That slow? Nah, probably not. You know, I think
it's not doubled up.
Nah, I just went. It felt like, you know, locked in a dark cave. Like, it's one of them sort of beats, and all you got is candlelight and some chalk. And you got to write on the walls.
It's a sensation, that track.
Yeah. So, I think I was probably thinking the same thing as you. Like, I haven't really done much of this kind of style to this kind of tempo, and, you know, but let me just get dark with it.
That's dark as well.
Yeah, but bruv, do you know how hard it was to choose which beats? He's got styles, man.
That's different that you chose that one, and I'm glad you chose that one.
Oh, bless, man. Honoured, bruv. I'm looking forward to get the next one done, man. Trust.
Here's
£10 bag.
Here's a thingy. This is some of the names. Axel Holy. He's from Bristol. Holy. Ritterson Kane. Yeah.
That's a wicked name, isn't it?
You know what, I don't know, and I always make a fool of myself. I don't know how to say this guy's name. CLBRKS.
CLBRKS.
Maybe some of your peoples know. I can't. And Sleazy F Baby.
Sleazy F Baby. Like
that's DRS from Manchester.
Yeah.
Genesis Elijah.
Jeez.
Illerman. Jess. Juggernaut, Kashmir, Keller, Harry Shotter, Lunacy, Mongo and Smith, Mice Diggy,
Jesus,
Pavan from Orifice Volgatron, if you want, Rescon from Bristol, Slim Pappy, Smell It and Piff,
fucking hell,
Snowy from up there, Sonny Jim, Tony D, Wishmaster, the list goes on, man. There's a lot of people there.
Yo!
It's a good caliber.
Yeah, man. It's a good mixture as well, man. I love that. Jeez. Farms ain't playing, boy. All right, so we haven't got a date yet, but videos, we've seen, you know what I mean, Soweto Kinch and Jess, see a little video going on there recently. Shout out to Jack Diggs. So you said there's going to be vinyl. Is it CD as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to run. I think I'll probably do the vinyl, then do the CD of the vinyl. But I was thinking not to put it on digital, you know, like on the streams. Just again from the nostalgic point of view, I thought to myself, why don't I just make it how Louis used to make it? Because that's how you make legendary music. You make it unobtainable unless you go and buy it. You know, I'm sure people will still burn it and take it off here, there, or wherever. But if you want it, you could just buy it, innit?
Yeah, if you get, you know, the official product. You know what I mean? Like you did back in the day. You know what I mean? You go and get CD, our price, HMV, unwrap that. You know, sometimes, anyway, I won't get into it, but when I was younger, sometimes I used to buy like 2 CDs and that. I know man used to do that. You buy 2 CDs, one album, you're like, one album you definitely want, the other one, you're like, and then you take it home, and then you just record the album on the tape. And then you return it for another album that you're like, I want this album. You know?
Yeah.
That was back in the day,
but
boy. But yeah,
you were stuck with albums back then as well because you just paid money for it and you had to get to know it. I think with the downloading stuff, people just don't bother getting to know things. They'll download the whole album just for one track.
Yo, you forget that you have that shit because it's just, imagine a CD's like, yo, bruv, mind my CD. You know, you might step on it, sit on it or whatever. This is just like an image, an icon on your desktop or whatever, or on your phone. So you're not even... You forget it. You know what I mean?
We lost something, right?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Definitely, man. It's lost value for sure. Do you know what I mean? Where now people are excited about streams and, you know, views and whatnot.
But it's lost like the worth, you know, like what is music worth to people now? Music used to define my life. But I don't think it's like that now, really. I think that people just, you know, they don't have like specific genres that they're into so much, whereas like we had just groups and that was it. You was into that genre. You know, you might have stepped outside of it a little bit, but mainly you was into that one thing.
But
it's a little bit more fluid now, I think. Now you've got like rappers in tight jeans.
Yeah, but I think that it was
Singing.
fluid back in the day. People were still into different types of music, but because it was physical and it was something that you could lose or break, or it meant more, it was worth, like you're saying, it was worth more. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now, it's not even anything physical. It's just something you turn your thing on and then click this, or you tell Alexa, play blah, blah, blah. And, you know what I mean? It's not there anymore. It's not like real. It's not, let alone, you know?
Yeah.
I see someone, is it Gleam? Gleam, yeah, Gleam. Gleam just said, it's not lost.
It's not lost.
It's a new generation.
It is a new generation, and so I mean, just the sort of thing of like tunes can come and go a lot easier now than they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the strength of the listener, right? If you're the listener, then the world is your oyster. It's there's no better time than now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, oh yeah, I want to hear blah blah blah's album. You don't have to go on none of them funny sites. You don't have to go on LimeWire. You don't have to do any funky business. You just go on Spotify. You go to the Bandcamp. You do whatever you need to do. You go on YouTube, and you can listen to it within the next 2 or 3 minutes. Right, that's cool from a listener's point of view, and I get that. I'm imagining that's what Gleam is coming from, that point of it. But for the artists, something like an artist, if you're a new artist, like you're young, right? There's nothing more easy now as a young artist to say, boom, I just recorded a track, let me get on DistroKid or whatever, and put it up onto Spotify and all these other different things, right? That's easy. Right. But those excited young people, they're not thinking about it any further than, my tune's on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but people who are serious about doing it, and I ain't knocking anybody for putting up their stuff, obviously not. But people who are trying to make a living out of it, there's more to it than just, it's a new generation. It's a new generation of what artists not getting paid.
With great power comes great responsibility. That's the thing, is that you've got the power to download everything, you know, but you've got to be responsible. You've got to remember, without actually funding the artists, you don't really get any art.
Right. Yeah. If everything is free, then no one's getting paid.
That's right.
That's simple, straightforward stuff, right?
That's it.
Yeah, and I get it. I'm all about everyone having access. That's wicked. But we still got to have a way, and I know there is ways before anyone starts saying, you could go on Bandcamp. Yeah. But there is, you know, there's got to be a serious conversation somewhere down the line, because we're all just going to, like, they're trying to do that to us anyway, artists, musicians, and all the rest of these. You know, they don't like the fact that we can make money. Mice, you can go to your gig, and the guys at the end of it is going to bosh that in your hand, and you're going to say thank you very much, and you're going to go home and you've got a fat wad. They don't like that.
Yeah.
And they've been trying for years to stop us having that. So we got to be careful with we got to be careful. It's all good. Have the music up, but we got to find ways for artists to make £1 still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what the thing about it being a new generation as well is that's fair enough, but then this new generation are also getting they're not getting what they deserve for the work they're putting in, and they're getting, on top of that, we can see how they're getting treated in a way which is totally wrong, but it's almost like that's how the game is played.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. If I was younger, if I was a kid, if I was 15 and I knew that I could put my music up on a digital platform that the world could access, you're damn right I'd be doing it.
Yeah.
I'd be doing it.
Yeah. It's because it's instant.
Well, come on, man. It's like what in my day, in your day, in our day, we would have to get on a bus and go to a club to pick up a mic so that people knew that you existed.
Yeah. Jeez, yeah.
Now a dude is sitting, he ain't been at his house ever. And he's sitting at his computer and he posts his thing up and does a funky little dance and he becomes a multi-million megastar. And that's the lottery.
Yeah, and he's awkward. He can't even really talk that well either.
Yeah.
That's what's even crazier.
That's lottery business. That's like, it's fair enough. So we all get hooked on this lottery ticket that it does exist. Yeah, but have you got the funny little dance and all the rest of it? Yeah, maybe not. We're probably a bit too old for that, Mice. But
oh no, Mice has got a lot of funny little dance.
Oh
yeah, man. Bro, I can floss. If anyone wants to floss off, that's all I'm saying. Like, man can floss. Like, I tell all the youths. You know what I mean? You don't want to floss off with me, like, trust me.
Don't Uncle. Let me see flossing, Pastor. I can already imagine it, and it's not a good look, man.
Nah, bruv. Trust me, I'll hold it down, man. Watch the video shoot. I'll show you that joke. I'll be flossing on that slow ass beat, boy. It'll be a dark, slow beat. Me flossing like candlelit cave. Yeah, man. I mean, so you see the change anyway. In terms of like, because people always ask me as well, like younger cats, they're always like, okay, so what do you see? What are the biggest changes you've seen then from your day to now?
Just like, yeah, probably the point of when we started doing what we were doing, there was no internet. I'm sure it was being invented, but it wasn't madly accessible to the point where it's like you could upload your thing, like make a beat, and by the end of the day it's on some kind of platform. I don't think that. I mean, that's amazing, man. That's like, wow. It's like I'm still really excited, like, by being able to put a bit of music on top of a video, fling it on Instagram, and then at the end of the day, this many people have listened to it, and this many people have talked about it. And I find that that's gratifying to me. What changed is before, like I just said before, like we would be traveling, right?
Yep.
Maestro, MI5, Jargon, you guys, you'd be getting on buses. If you were lucky, you'd have someone who drive a car.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and we would have to get ourselves down the road. We'd have to get out of our house and be somewhere, and then try our hardest to get on that microphone that might not even be open.
Yeah. You might not even get a chance. And you're not even thinking about getting, like, how you're getting home. You deal with that after.
After effect, yeah. But that, to me, at least with the music thing, that's changed. Because now, what do you have to do? You don't even. I don't come out of my house. I come out of my house to go and get like supplies and then come back. when the kids are at school, then I'm taking them to school, going to pick them up.
Yeah.
But further than that, that's why I was interested in your question. What was it about the?
The Mice Investigates.
Yeah, what was that? The lockdown.
Yeah, it was basically what Mice Investigates this week is what was the most valuable thing you've learned during the lockdown?
Yeah, so for me, I think I learned that I should probably go out more, because it didn't really affect me. It's not. It kind of like this is. I don't go out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, man. And the other thing is, I feel like Farma, them man were already. They were warning us about this shit. When people talk about, the music was telling us about these times coming from back then. Taskforce were, Farms was definitely letting us know. You know what I mean? So you're already like, here we go then.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
But the thing is, it was the same here, that we because it's a studio here, and so we just carried on going to the studio and seeing the people in the studio, and they was all carrying on doing the same thing. So nothing changed. If anything, it was like Black Einstein said, "Welcome to our world." Yeah, that's what everyone else is experiencing. What it's been like for musicians, is that, like, you're always locked in a studio on your own in the dark.
Yeah.
And we love that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, whatever, man. You go shop smiling.
People come in the house and it's like, oh, you're messing it up. Go. So it's one of them ones, man. I mean, what have I learned really? You got. There's a lot going up here, innit, for everyone. There's a lot going up here when you're left to
your own
deal with your own mind. And I suppose in a way, that's why I'm thankful for what I do, because I'm on my own all the time anyway. So I'm always sitting, and I've always got my own thoughts, and without much interruption from anybody else. I don't par with anybody. I don't sit with anybody. I don't build a beat and send it to anybody. You know what I mean? So I'm always just bouncing off myself. So in that way, I suppose I've learned that I'm probably my best mate.
I like that, man. I'm probably my best mate, for real, boy. So, and that's the thing. It's calm, innit? You're not. There's no anxiety when you're able to be by yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me, myself, and I.
Yeah, not for me. Not for me personally, no. But I can see the effect. I can see the effect.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's having a real serious effect on people's minds, and that they haven't got the support system that they're used to, or whatever it is they need to get by, is when it's taken from them or whatever. If there's less of it than they're used to, it seems to, like, even performers, man. I see performers begging it, man. Like they're begging to be noticed. This, like, not necessarily in the rap world or whatever, but like at the start of the lockdown in the first year or whatever, the entertainment scene and the ladies and they just going on wild. It's like, hold on, what? You ain't been on TV for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, like, you're doing mad stuff to like get a ratings or like have people notice you, and like Instagram has gone crazy with all these people doing these crazy things, and it's all just to get noticed. It's like, well, in that sense, it's really drawn out the poisonous side of celebrity, and I mean, we already knew that it's like full of shit.
Yeah. Now,
that nasty, seedy, and you see what's behind it is just for them to feed their ego, constantly feeding on being noticed, and it's like, it's bare sick. And you see that with normal people as well. It's like people are dressing different now. It's like as soon as everyone was allowed back out, no one's got any clothes on, and it's madness.
Yeah, it's madness. Desperate, right?
Desperation, But desperate for what, Mice? Desperate for what exactly?
The thing is that it's like the goal that's been set for these sort of people in their mind. This is my opinion. In their mind, the goal that's been set is to become famous, is to become known, is to look good, and so their idea of looking good is, I want to look like that. I want to look like that. They're not happy with what they see in the mirror because of how, and this, in my opinion, it's the programming through schooling, through TV, through all, the entertainment and whatnot, and that has given them the idea that this is what they should go for. This is what I should work hard for. This is what I should pay my taxes for, and so it's all wrong and it's all messed up in that way. And that's why in my opinion, that's why you've got this back and forth with people wherever we are, somebody's got some kind of argument. You know what I mean? Rather than like there's peace. It's some form, and this has made it even more volatile. Obviously, being on your own and not being able to handle it as well. as you could if you know you knew yourself. Like entertainment, we was talking about this the other day. Entertainment, enter, in, tain is to hold. You know, like it's even like linked to tain, like French for tin foil. Tain, and then ment, your mind, mentis, your mind. So it's entered and holds your mind in some form or way, messes you up. And you don't even, you know, they don't realize it. But the goals that you've set for yourself are what this screen has told you, you know, is broadcasting to you. And now they're all lost. So, and to us, it's like, whoa. Like, you know, some of us are lucky. We managed to, you know, see other parts of the world that made us realize, okay, not everything's the way you think it is. And then, you know, things start clicking. You're like, wow, this TV, what's with this program? I'm like, why do you watch that? You know what I mean? Why do you wear that? Why do you listen to that?
Some of us just didn't put the telly on, and that's, you know, I mean, to some extent, that's all it's down to, is when you don't watch all this stuff all the time, you sort of drift away from it all, and you start to find who you are, rather than, because you're being marketed to all the time, at every level, all the time. Doesn't matter what you're watching, doesn't matter what, not even adverts, just normal films, TV show, everything. They're trying to define you. And once you step away from that and stop letting other people define who you are, you start sort of finding yourself, really.
Yeah, and that's when you can smell the bullshit, boy. Through the screen, you can smell that shit. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. But, you know, I think as long as there are, like, people like us out here that can kind of steer people the right direction, even if they don't get it, at least, you know, in some form of way, then, you know, we're trying, man. Shout to Harry Love in the building. There's a few people popped in. Shout to Harry Love. Who else is there? Charlie Zoot. Shout to Richard Henry. Yeah, your Mars in the building. People shouting you out, Farms, man. There's a lot of love in this chat room, bruv. Definitely, man. Shout to Barry O. Technology. Yeah. So it's a funny world now, man. But I think, you know, in terms of this lockdown thing, definitely, like you're saying, realizing how lucky we are, you know, to be able to have something that we can focus on that's not, you know, so we're not getting clustered with whatever's going on. And it's just very normal for us to do that, has been a blessing, for sure. Yeah, and so that's one thing I learned as well, man, for sure. Is and now it's kind of put a, you know, we had a chat with Blade last week, and you know, he was talking about, well, 2 weeks ago now, he was talking about, you know, things that need to happen within the scene, obviously over here, for it to be a bit more solid and work with a better flow. You know what I mean? Especially when there's so much talent. Like, we know how much talent is out there. It's ridiculous now. But it still feels like it's fragmented in terms of, you know, areas within it that have got the structure that are like, you know, they're making it work the right way. And so that for me, even coming, you know, I guess we're coming out of lockdown or whatever, but it's made me feel like, all right, now is time to really go in even crazier. Do you know what I mean? And so that's another thing that I think I'm getting from all of this as well. You know, getting past all the stress and the worries and whatnot is really about focusing about the shit, you know, on the things that you love, not the things that they're throwing at you to make you turn in love with it. It's like, no. That, like, you see what the bullshit is now. Like you're saying, the amount of celebrities that have come out in these recent months saying this, that, and the third, and it's weird. It's weird to even see it with a lot of it, but at least you know now. You know what I mean? At least you know. It's like the Truman Show's. It's real. Mm-hmm. It's real, boy. Yeah, man. Heads in the building. Yeah, we got to get Harry on, definitely, man. I'm going to catch up with you, bro. We got to get Harry on to chat the chat as well. It's good to catch up with people as well, man. Like, that's one of the other things, you know. Bruv, missing doing gigs, you know, in the back room. Even like, you're like, right, go out for a blaze. Even just being outside, random drunk person, all of that, you miss it. You're like, yo, shit, is that going to happen again, though? Jeez.
Do you want to have a quick break?
Yeah, should we have a Kit Kat?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
You all right with that?
You all right with that, Farms?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, man. We're gonna have a little break. We'll come back. You lot get your cups of tea on, roll something. You know, do it. Put the washing on. Whatever it is you need to do. You can watch this. We're gonna come back on the other side with some mice investigates and more with Farma G's. Farma Genius. Dalai Farma. What is it you got now? It's Farma Psychedelicatessen. Jeez. This guy's creative as a mother lover, boy. Yes. Yamar saying the contribution to the UK scene is unreal. Ooh, jeez. Farms, man.
You might want to
done a lot out here.
Mute your mic, Farms, while we go to the break, just in case you're live.
How do I do that? How do I do that?
There should be a little picture of a mic on your thing. Yeah? Okay.
Stand DNA on
I'll
the
message
boards,
you
man.
when we're coming back in anyway. All right.
All right, we'll be back
Let's
soon,
go.
bitches and bitchettes. Oh. Yes, Farms. Welcome, mother lovers. This is Maestro Investigates. Today, we're at the Wimbledon Village Stables, and I'm going to investigate horse riding.
We've got these, which are called jogger boots.
What's the idea behind these? Are they specially made for horse riding, I guess?
Yeah, they've got a special heel on, which is important for when you're riding, so that your foot doesn't slip all the way through the stirrup.
Ah, yeah, you don't want to get caught in the stirrup. I've heard about that. Yeah,
Okay, so the stirrup bit just
get
goes
your stirrup.
underneath your foot.
So I'm putting the stirrup on the chudders. Is that right?
Chaps.
Chaps.
Yeah.
Sorry, the chaps on the...
You're putting your chaps over the top of your trousers. And next thing, we need your hat. Really, really important.
Yeah? Like a sort of builder's helmet.
Sort of, yeah, like a safety helmet. Okay?
Yeah.
So I just put this one on. This is a guess.
I've got
But they've
my
got to
forehead.
be quite tight. So
Yeah, my forehead's kind of...
Does
it
as far
fit in,
down
yeah?
as it'll go?
Alright.
Right, just do that with your head. Yeah, so that's good because it's not moving. Yeah, see how mine isn't moving either?
Yeah.
Because if it moved, then that would mean that it would be too big, okay? Now you can meet Inky.
Inky.
Inca Man, that's the horse you'll
Inca
be riding.
Man.
Yep. Okay, so this is Inky, all ready and waiting.
Ah, see, I was kind of... Yeah. Hey, Inky. I was a bit worried about the size of the horse. So with the horses, you know, can you tell what they're thinking and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
definitely. They've all got their own personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks he's the boss of the stables.
Oh, does he?
Oh, yeah. Come up the steps.
Yeah.
Good. And I want you to put your, come onto the top one.
Yeah.
That's it. Put your left hand here.
My left hand
Yeah,
here.
just holding it there.
Yeah.
And then your right hand on the saddle, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then your left foot into the stirrup.
To the stirrup.
That's it, yeah. Just stay there for 2 seconds. I'll hold the other side.
Yeah.
And then 3 little bounces and leg over. So when your right leg over.
My right leg over, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, was it? All right. So 1, 2, 3.
Well done.
So what's the best way to make sure I don't like lose balance or fall off?
I don't think it'll happen, I really don't.
But
Yeah, keep sitting in that lovely position
Yeah, yeah.
that you're in now.
Yeah.
Sit at equal so you can feel both your seat bones, sit tall, keep your shoulders back, and you'll work with the motion of the horse.
cheers, bro. Respect for that, man. Please, man. Quite therapeutic, actually.
Ready? So we press the horse crossing here.
Hey,
Halt.
halt. Look at that. Horse crossing.
Yeah, brilliant. And then we went to the green one. It's good for the children, they love doing it. Okay, off we go. I want you to keep hold of your reins in your left hand.
The left hand, yeah.
As they are. Now I want you to just do some big circles with your arms like this. That's it. So you keep nice and relaxed. It's important not to get tensed up. you
Tensed
see,
up,
look.
yeah, yeah. Because you can notice, didn't it, that last bit, I was,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, started freezing up a bit.
Yeah, like any athlete or sports person,
Yeah.
you need to be nice and
Relaxed.
I want you to get your right hand reach down and touch your left toe. Okay?
You want me to fall over? That's what you want me
I
to
do.
do.
Go on.
All right,
Just do it
get my
slow.
right hand.
Touch your left toe. That's it, slow.
Okay.
Go on, reach down.
Oh, my sack. Oh, I got it. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, just watch your head. Try and lean forward like
Yeah.
that. Okay?
That'll make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeehaw. Come on, boy, let's go. Oh, whoa.
Good, that's it. How does that feel? That's
Yeah, it feels good.
push your shoulders forward a bit more. Work through it.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's it. Well done. Good, and he's speeding up. Okay, preparing to walk. So sit on the floor. Hold that tummy in. Good, well done.
Yeehaw. So I've always wondered, why don't people ride zebras in Africa?
They're a wild animal.
They're wild,
Yeah,
so they haven't been
they've never been tamed.
tamed.
Yeah.
So are these classed as domestic?
Yeah, these are domestic animals like your dogs and your cats. You wouldn't have a tiger at home, would you? And they're a big cat.
Yeah, that's true. Well, not unless you
Well, it depends who you are.
Mike Tyson or something
Yeah,
like that, isn't it?
So bring him to halt.
Halt.
Well
Woo! Well done, man.
done. And I'm just going to
Well.
hop off. And I'll help you get off. And I'll help Lean forward.
All right, lean forward.
Now kick your right leg round.
Right.
Big kick round and slide off slowly. That's it. And slowly. That's it. Yeah! Much easier than we thought. Just pop Inky back in his box.
Okay, Inky.
My nuts are tucked into me. I just got to like push them out.
Yeah. Feels normal again, man. It's a bit harsh on the kishkis, isn't it? Can get tucked in, man.
It's not a...
Yeah, I think it went all right. So these are just to wake them up a bit.
Well, not really, no. No, it's not really. No,
So if I was like,
no it's not to wake them up.
no?
No, you don't need to know
I
what.
don't work here.
They're only for good riders carry the whip.
Oh, good riders carry the whip.
Yeah.
All right. One day,
10 more left.
when I grow up, I want to be able to carry this around. So how long have the stables been here?
There were stables here since the end of the 18th to the 80s or something. The stables were part of the park. And there were hundreds of people came here to learn to ride, even way back then. It was very, very popular. They used to have, I think, 30 horses here and then 40 horses on Church Road. A tremendous amount of horses, considering what the population would have been in those days. And mainly men learning to ride.
Mainly men.
Whereas now it's mainly women.
Why is that?
I don't know. Not enough men do it. Why don't men do it?
I think I know why, actually. Yeah, you kind of get tucked in places where you got to shake yourself out again. But yeah, I mean, you could get you get used to it though.
Yeah.
I think.
I have some men that ride and they ride out and they're just surrounded by ladies all riding. They say, why don't more men do this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
riding out with kind of 10 lovely ladies,
So there you have it. That was an episode of Maestro Investigates. Horse riding on Spine TV. For more information on Wimbledon Village Stables, just go to www.wvstables.com and you can find out a whole lot more stuff that you might not never know nothing about. I'm off to investigate something else now, mother lovers. So see you next episode. So how does it feel to be ridden? How often do you get ridden? When you get ridden,
Right, we're back
do you
in.
feel like riding yourself?
Yeah, that was me investigating horse riding. Kishki damage was at about 60%. I didn't sit down again for the next 2 weeks, put it that way. You know what I mean? I had to do a lot of hot baths. Just crouching tiger in the hot bath, but then cold showers. Tried my best to shrivel up as much as I could, but the kishkis was damaged. I don't know how them dudes horse ride. You got to tuck yourself in some form of way before you horse ride, boy.
You got to strap up.
That
Before
shit
you
will
get on
catch you. Yo, We're back again, mother lovers. Some shit you might not never know nothing about. I want to shout out all the people locked in right about now. Big up to the crew, Yamar, O-Tech, shout to Tubalicious, Nicole Kisser, Mr. Green in the building, Peter Lewis Kisser, Rumble, what's going on? Richard Henry, Harry Love, Barry O, all the crew in the building right now. Gleam, we got none other than the one and only Farma G with us tonight, boy, and it feels good.
Yo.
Farms.
Yo.
How did you get started, like making, was it Taskforce first or Berry Crew first? Which was which? Or you were solo, or how did you get started with doing this?
It was kind of like me and my brother, like just naturally, yeah, we did everything together. We did our rapping, blah, blah, blah. Secondary school, I linked up with Intense and Mike Skiller, and we formed Berry Crew.
Yeah.
And Skinny at pretty much the same kind of time. Skinny and Mongo and my brother created the Mud Fam, and then we kind of amalgamated here and there. We did Mudlums, and the story.
Yeah,
the story's pretty well documented, isn't it?
Mudlums, man.
Not well enough.
Jeez, yeah, for real.
The whole story nees telling at some point.
To do a film of it, really. So
yes.
There should be like I don't know who will play me, but like they should do a whole kind of episode on how it was. There's a lot of fun that went down.
Yeah, man.
Doing all of that, a lot of stories that can be told that maybe shouldn't they ever be said. Actually,
the Mudlums days, boy, that was a whole era as well, man. Mudlums and hitting that open mic, boy. Jeez.
If you were around at Powerhouse when Mudlums was in Powerhouse, then like I consider you to be like the true hardcore backbone fan base.
Yeah.
Because the people who knew us from there is like, man, that's a journey to go on, man. Because that's like, I was coming to Powerhouse was in Finsbury Park. I used to live with Remus, Aaron, I would call him Aaron. I used to live with Aaron's mum and Aaron in Harvest Estate, Headless Horseman on Harvest Estate. Yeah, so North London guys will know Sobel Centre and Finsbury Park and all that. And I used to run down to Powerhouse, like leave Aaron there with his mum, and used to do this whole Mudlums thing with Skinny and Intense, and man, like they were very rough and basic beginnings, but everything kind of, well, the road was long, but everything sprouted from that place. That's where Mark B came one night, and we had the talk of joining up and making a group, and we came up with the name Taskforce. This is where Mudlums is like synonymous with that whole thing, that movement that came from after that. And then you guys started doing Kung Fu. There was the freeze. There was all sorts of different things that kind of flipped and flipped after them events. It was a deep time, man.
Yeah. Profound time, man. Profound time. There was a lot going on as well.
Mice. There's like 12. I tell you, one of my favourite memories of Mudlums was 12 Stones. I don't know if you guys remember 12 Stone.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah,
Hackney's finest, boy. 12 Stone. Of course.
Absolutely Hackney's finest. Absolutely, like the style, the rhyme flows. Like when I listen to it now, I can kind of join the dots of what they might have been listening to. It was a bit Wu-Tangy, a bit Wu Syndicate, and there was those kind of elements. Yeah. But what always strikes me about 12 Stone, especially when they came to Mudlums, is we knew who 12 Stone were. Obviously, they're not far from where we all were, and they were a big crew, and we were a big crew, and obviously we thought we were the dog's danglies, yeah. But when 12 Stone came and performed at Mudlands, like, I just thought to myself, shit, they were so good. And it was one of them, every now and again, you just get a little humbling experience.
Yeah.
Same as when you used to see MCD perform back in the day, yeah, someone talking about Apricot Jam,
Yeah,
Flavour
man.
of the Month, all them ones.
Yeah.
Used to see, I saw MCD perform once in Dingwalls, and it was jam before the new wave rap fans, and it was jam with heads, and wall to wall. And MCD came on, and it was when he was on his political, you know, he was all about the government and
the Queen and
because he went different. He went a little bit different after, innit? MCD. He kind of went a little bit like jingly jangly with gold chains and bandanas and all this kind of business. But he rapped one night at Dingwalls, and everyone was just dumbfounded. Like, it was so powerful that the whole room was just. Some people were like on the verge of tears. It was such a massive impact emotionally that some of these guys, like, to me, they're the early innovators. Yeah, I know it goes further back, it goes miles back. But when you're talking about powerful voices that resonate and shake still, as long as there's people about with the recordings and you can tell people about it and the stories are there, people like MCD, people like 12 Stone, and listen, they're like, who talks about 12 Stone?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, man. 12 Stone, Stone Age, the album Stone Age.
Yeah, the Stone Age, that CD, boy. Jeez. Wow, you're bringing back some memories, man. I remember that. Strapper and
everyone listening or whatever, that album is on YouTube. You can come off here now or after, type in 12 Stone, Stone Age, listen to the album. Ridiculous. You don't hear it, but then you can hear the lineage from Hackney, from them guys to Clash.
Yeah.
So when we start digging deeper and we listen to, like, these guys were there. They solidified that Hackney flow. They the bosses at it. And then Clash had his thing, but you can hear the lineage. But it's fascinating. All these things they're fascinating if the story is told. If the story ain't told, then nobody ever gets to know.
No one gets to know.
It's lost, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the sad thing about the scene because, you know, obviously, and it's not even just us that are within it, that, you know, we know everyone and whatnot, but people even from outside are like, wow, the talent within this scene, you know what I mean, is ridiculous. How comes I ain't heard this before? You know, all that kind of talk. But then the fact that, you know, it's like, you probably get the same thing. People are like, yo, I've just discovered you, and you're like, right, these many hours deep into this and people are still discovering you. But that's what it's like when, you know, you've got a scene that's like this where it's not, you know, solid enough that there's a continuous flow of things happening. But at the same time, I still enjoy that. I still enjoy the fact that I can touch new people here, there, and everywhere because of the fact I'm so independent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you do your thing with the band. What's the band called, Mice?
Oh, the Smokey Joe and the Kid.
Yeah, like, that's huge, right?
Yeah. So, you know, it's obviously we have to work the angles that we can in it. You got to be smart about what you're doing. And same likewise for you, man. Like I'm saying, the amount of stuff you're putting out, I see, and you're saying it's work. That's exactly what it is. You know, exactly. For me, the live thing is where it works better for me. You know, that's where I make my living more than when I'm putting out music. So therefore, I should make sure that's constant, so I can just put out the music when I want. You know, it's not. We've all got to work it the way that we can, but. You know, the thing is, and like I was saying, going back to Blade again, because this stuff hit me so well, is that there's still, you know, like you doing a £10 bag. There's people putting out music left, right, and centre. So there's still things happening. It's just making sure that everyone knows about it. People that should know that wouldn't know because it's not getting enough airplay. You know, like the radio stations, we don't get no play on the radio stations. Unless you've got someone who knows someone, you know, on that tip, then it might be happening. But, you know, so all these sort of things, we got to start really getting behind. If anyone does have a radio station, then we should get behind them and help promote them as well so that, you know, and I think just doing the things that we didn't do before, do you know what I mean, is what I'm getting at.
It's made, I think there's an element of everyone who, you know, if you're into UK rap or whatever, or you're an artist, whatever it may be, but there's got to be a push. There's got to be some kind of, like, we've got to make it relevant.
Exactly.
Because at the moment, I mean, when you've been here as long as I have, like, you know that it comes round in circles anyway. And you just have to hang on in there until it comes back round, and it eventually always does. But if you listen to like Radio 6 or like Huey and them kind of guys on BBC Radio 1, 2 or 6 or one of them ones, you hear him playing Juggernaut and artists like that. They're slowly being, you know, convinced.
Yeah.
Just what you want to feed them. I tell you what, they haven't got any time for a regurgitation of what it used to be. No. Either have I. I ain't got the belly for regurgitation, because there's you know, it's like, when I've said it before, I'll say it again. Fans have a thing where they want to hear the same thing from you. Yeah, and I get that, because if I meet Bob Dylan, man, maybe I won't, because he got caught up on some other stuff. But if I Bob Dylan, for instance, I'm not going to ask him to. I'm not interested in his new stuff, so I'm interested in his old stuff. But I'm not going to tell him, oh, you should do an album like that, Bob, because that's when I thought you were really good. Ain't that a bit insulting?
Yeah. It is.
If you're a true artist, then you spew out your soul or your spirit or whatever you're on. You spew it out, you dash it on the canvas, you fling it out to the people, and the people go, yeah or no. And if it's yeah, then it stands that test of time and people enjoy it forevermore. If they don't, then it just falls into the massive void that is, you know, that seems to be now. That for a lot of us, we can put music up and no one listens to it. No one buys it and no one listens to it. That's so detrimental to how we feel as a community. Like when people say UKHH, do you know what I mean? And I'm not one for tagging, but that's what it is. It's UKHH, right? So it's demoralizing to the community, to us all, when we're dropping music and nothing happens. And that can also be what we touched on earlier about digitalization of everything. But yeah, because it's so easy and there's so much of it, people ain't going to see it. So that's why there has to be a step up where we have to make something, we have to make it a big deal. We have to make it special. So it's not just, oh, there's another EP. Oh, there's another EP. Because then it's not a big deal. And the American underground scene seemed to be catching on to how to accumulate more dividends from their products. Because, for instance, like you have the labels like Dope, you have Copenhagen Crates, you have Fuck Rap, you have all these little boutique labels that are putting out records that are selling 300, 400, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 6,000 records, but really, really fast. And there's 3 different alternative versions, and the DJs and the collectors, they want all 3 of them. And they get 20 quid to buy, and one's got an Obi strip and all this other stuff. And people over here people like Juggernaut, people like Giallo Point, who's a producer, who produced the last album for Juggernaut. It's catching on, man. This is what I mean. If we're gonna make people notice us, we can't just keep doing the same thing. So can't just keep regurgitating what we did from Kung Fu times. Like there has to be more strategy to it. Not to say that it wasn't strategic what was going on then, but things have moved on a little bit. It's a different
world now, yeah.
Thank you, yeah. So I mean, I think people are ready again. It just has to be the right way to market, to give it to them and say, yo, look at it like that. This is a different way to look at it. It's a piece of art. Like Juggernaut is a very special artist in my opinion. As are a lot of people doing their stuff right now, but there's definitely a movement to making the product into a piece of art. And
I know exactly what you mean, bruv. He's definitely took it somewhere like you don't see people doing. And it goes to what you're saying in terms of making it something special, something that is a moment that people will notice because of how it's being presented. And not many of us do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah, the early, the sort of early, what we'll say, I don't know, what would you call it? The early UK hip hop inception. Back at the turn of the century, that was the turn of the century.
White labels.
But it was. We've talked about this before. It was like a healthy scene of like clubs and clothing shops, record shops, labels. Everything. It had the whole package, and that's you do need the whole package. You need people to feel like they're buying into something bigger, not just like a one person on the internet who doesn't know anybody else. It's like all these. Everybody has to be tied in again. That was one of the good things about back then. Is you go and see someone. And about 4 or 5 other people would jump on the stage that night, and you'd feel like everybody knew each other. You'd feel like you couldn't wait for those 2 people to work together. Like, oh yeah, apparently they're doing something with them. Oh, okay, and there was people were all releasing stuff with each other and all the rest of it. So that's why the £10 bag type thing is so important.
Yeah, I think
And we used to have a lot of them. We used to have a lot of compilations and people's mixtapes, and we talked about, who did we talk about with these before? Killer, was it? I think we were talking about it. There's loads of different mixtapes around at the time, so you got to hear lots of different people sort of testing their stuff out against different beats and things like that. But that period, looking back now, was sort of a test period, and once the digital thing happened, I think that sort of, because there wasn't enough people that had their shit sorted out by the time when it came the time to sort of really start producing stuff, there weren't enough people that had the solid grounding.
Yeah, people just wanted to make music. They didn't know that they had to.
No, that's right. They didn't. No, that's what was good about it. It felt homegrown.
Yeah.
But in a way, that was also part of the problem, because it
no, for sure. Yeah. We suffered from that that very much so, because our ethos was to make dirty music from the corner. But at the same time, it sounds kind of cool to say it, and it's like, yeah, music from the corner, like, we didn't mix or master this shit, like, it was all right when everyone bought the CD, but now when that's all done, and the radios, they can't play that, firstly because it sounds like a fucking dead horse being dragged through a tin pan alley or something. It doesn't sound good enough to be on the radio. It's artistic, but it's recorded badly, it sounds badly sonically, and you can pump it and you can have it in your yard or whatever, but radio ain't playing that, because as soon as them proper radio compressors hit them bass drums that I was using, the radio's getting squashed down and you ain't gonna hear nothing. You know what I mean? But the radio had jumped on to what was going on back then.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you're saying that, but then I'm thinking about grime, the way that grime started getting played on the radio, and that was quite like, do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
went.
but you know what, Mice? With hip hop now, like, because, well, I'm just going to talk from my side of it, because my production at that time, I can tell you for sure, was really, really basic when we're talking about the engineering side of it and actually knowing what you're doing. And I would take my beats out of my MPC, fling them onto the 16-track recorder, digital recorder, whatever we were using, and pretty much that's it. And there's not even really much EQing going on.
Oh, wow,
It's like,
okay.
I'm not educated like that, so the stuff that I've learned over 20 years, 25, 30 years is just me realizing to myself in real time, mate, you're really shit. So, like, can you just try a bit harder?
But you had a whole bunch of people sitting in their bedrooms trying to copy your sound at the time.
Yeah.
And just thinking, how the fuck does he get that sound? Not knowing that you didn't really do anything with it.
Dan, you know what, right? You know the Prodigy?
Yeah.
The rapper guy, Maxim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time, I can't remember how we linked him, but he linked us and was like, I really want you guys, I think it was like MFTC 1 was just about to be dropped. Like we hadn't given it to anyone. But he was like, so I can't really remember where he found us, but he was like, I want you to come to my yard. So we went to his yard. He had like a massive studio with like pink furry walls and all sorts of shit. It's like plush place, all the Grammys and the awards or whatever it is they won. And so it was a bit awe-inspiring. It was like, wow, this guy is really famous and he wants to, like, he's interested in us. And, you know, we thought maybe somewhere down the line we might get something out of it or whatnot. But he was like, yeah, can I listen to some music? So I gave him MFTC 1 to put on. And he pushed it up on the CD player, pushed it up on his big speakers now, the big massive wall speakers in his studio. Put on Stranger from the Shore, one of the tracks off that first one. And he looked at me and he was like, yo, how'd you get your kick sounding like that? And like, it was the most hilarious moment of my career, because it's like, dude, I literally just got it out the MPC and put it into the thing and recorded it onto a CD, and that's it. But like he couldn't have it. It was like, nah, man. Like, you must have done something to it to make it sound like that. And it's like, no, it's just got no compression on it, and it's popping right out.
Jeez, that is hilarious, man.
You know what I was gonna say though about the radio?
Yeah.
Rodney P and skits, and you have to think about what it was massive. What was going on with UK hip hop?
Yeah.
A massive platform, and then very suddenly, very weirdly and oddly, it just got dropped.
Yeah.
And like whether it was the emergence of grime or whatever.
You're right though, because remember Excalibur was the first. He might have even been the first DJ they signed on One Extra. And he was all about, his show was just like, I only play UK hip hop. That was his show. And then obviously
One Extra, most of One Extra was hip hop, UK hip hop.
Yeah, Sarah,
yeah.
Rodney P and Skits. Yo.
It actually, like, I think Harry's mentioned it there about Kung Fu, Itch, One Extra, Channel U, MTV Base all started same time. I feel coincidence of those created a phenomenon and emergence of an industry. Yeah, I remember at the time feeling a little bit like One Extra was actually set up to sort of cash in on like a feeling that was happening already.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
You could even say that they built the whole thing on what we had been doing.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I think that as that's what you expect the BBC to do, is to cash in on something that they think is going to make a bit of money. But they very quickly switched into the grime thing, and that obviously has got other connotations as well. Is that that grime helped sort of bring in a different attitude,
an era,
towards a different attitude in young people and everything,
Yeah, no, for sure.
Whereas the UK hip hop weren't like that.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, what I noticed is that, you know, through the years, what I've noticed, and you can see it now, obviously, with the type of music out there now influencing the kids, it's easier for them to manipulate an artist that isn't, you know, that savvy in that world. You know what I mean? So if it's somebody that just all they're thinking about is fame and money and whatnot, and not really thinking about business and like, right, is this guy trying to scam me? You know, you've grown up in an area where you got to look behind you got to look over your shoulder every now and again. You know what I mean? You got to check your pockets, make sure everything's still in there. So, you know, you could spot these things, but a lot of these kids can't really spot that, and they take advantage of that, in my opinion, because it's easier to manipulate them. You just flash the money in their face, and I think a lot of that has probably happened because you can see with a few artists, things didn't work out the way that you think they would, man. And with the UK hip hop scene, I think a lot of people are already wary of what labels are about. You know, it's always been spoken about in the music anyway. Like, you know what I mean? My employer, my employee, you know. Or there's always been. True. So you knew, you know.
So there was a cynicism already built into the UK hip hop scene. You think a little bit.
In a sense,
there was like a sort of fuck the industry type.
Almost
feeling to it. Yeah.
Almost.
I agree. I think to me it felt like a sort of a renaissance of punk music.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of DIY stuff going on. It was, you know, pirates. There was pirate stations still playing it. You know, white labels and loads of nights every week. You could pretty much go to a night every night of the week.
Yeah, man, that was the thing.
Much.
Like, right, even Harry held out a few nights as well. It was like that. You could go out nearly every night. You go West End, there's something on you. There's open mic. There's something you can hit. But yeah, it's a whole different world now. Now you just hit your keyboard, innit? Look at the screen, just hit your keyboard. Oh, it's sick, man. This is, you know, like it's a different world. But obviously, the adaptation is key. A man like Farma G has definitely adapted. I'll tell you that right down now. You know what I mean?
You know what? Maybe big up to my guy Hobgoblin. I see him signing in. He's a producer from Birmingham, I do believe. He's from Birmingham.
Hobgoblin Beats, big up.
Hobgoblin, like listen, on a production tip, there's a lot of guys over here who are working with a lot of people out of here. The international artists coming to check the UK scene for producers and beats. Like, as you know, Sonny Jim, he's doing a lot of production for Americans. He's also, I mean, he's doing mad stuff. Didn't he get like he just do an album with like someone ridiculous, a producer, American producer. So there's a trade going on with, we just got to change the old way of thinking, I suppose. I mean, that's what I try to do. That I try to reinvent my own personal self every other day. You know? It can't be the same, especially when you get old, like, and you think to yourself, I've done this and I've done that, and then I make a beat and I think to myself, hold on, have I made this beat before? And I start doing a rap and I think, hold on, have I rapped that before? And it starts getting to you, man. So you have to kind of reinvent yourself as long as it's age appropriate. Do you know what I mean? Can't be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my new era hat on there, yeah, boy, and start acting crazy. Like it's a difficult one. Yeah, see, look, people are mentioning the different producers.
Yeah, and
I think, obviously, Otex mentioned Beat Butcher, Budgie, Jesu from up in Scotland, and for sure, there's so many. I mean, we do tend to put the emphasis on the MCs and the rappers.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a lot of good producers from over here that sadly are overlooked just because of the oversaturation and the nature of our scene. Because it's like I say, a lot of us find ourselves just throwing music into a huge void and then like just watching it go down.
Yeah.
And you can hear it as it's falling into the hole.
That's about it. You don't hear the music, you just hear it for the to the hole.
Down the hall. Yeah, that noise, exactly that noise. And I feel that there's a lot of us out here. I mean, me as well. I do it. Sometimes I put stuff out, and it just falls into that void, and I think, wow. And sometimes it hurts. That's it. Madlib. Sonny worked with Madlib.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's more than crazy.
Yeah, like, Sonny Jim and Madlib. Imagine that. Wow. Is it out?
Yeah. Mate,
is it out? Hobgoblin, you know, is it out?
Yes. Is it out?
Wow, that's amazing, man. See, it's things like that, boy, that just, you know, like when 4 Hours with Primo was like, yo, first time I heard it, Lock, shout out to DJ Lock, he played it in the car. I was like, what? You know, that feeling you get is the excitement of, you know, the first time hearing the tune. You know, it makes you proud, man. And I guess in a sense, it's been a long time coming, but now seeing the amount, like you're saying, the amount of work that's going on back and forth, UK and US, yeah. You know, it can only get bigger. It's like a snowball, you know what I mean? Moving down the mountain, it can only get bigger. I can see a lot more happening. Wow, that's got me pumped, man. Sonny Jim and Madlib, jeez.
And Buck Wild, Harry says, and Buck Wild.
Yeah, and Buck Wild as well. Wow, serious.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
but you see,
that's deep.
You see, this is kind of what I'm saying. Like on the strength of what we used to do, when it wasn't just all based on the socials and YouTube, there was cohesion on a different level where we knew what we were all doing. And like Dan mentioned earlier, there was people working with each other, features, hooking up, and it wasn't just over the internet. It was actually like when I met you guys, Mice, and Jargon. What was the other guy called, Mice?
Valiant, man. Rest in peace. Valiant and Diligence.
Shit,
so
man,
MI5.
Valiant Pass.
Huh?
Valiant Pass.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, man. That's terrible. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, when I met you guys, like that's the kind of thing that everyone we need to have that. We all need to know that Sonny has worked with Madlib and
for real.
And kind of push that onto like a pedestal and
champion that exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly,
and
man.
We all need to know it, and we all need to shout about it. And I see when he posts these things, and I think to myself, damn, like that's kind of being overlooked a little bit. Yeah, you might get a little 50, a little 100, but you see, even now I'm doing that. Yeah, only got 100 likes. That's shit. Because really, we should all know that anyway, and be like calling him up or like, but we don't do that kind of thing anymore.
Yeah. It's true.
We don't have that kind of that cohesion, that friendship, and we all know Sonny. Sonny was there at the freestyle jams. He'd come from Birmingham and he'd drive down and he'd be at the freestyle jams, freestyling and battling. So we all know him.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, it gets, everything gets a little bit like fragmented, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's almost crabby in a bucket-y. Crabby in a bucket.
Yeah, it can be.
You know, but yeah, that's something, like you're saying, we should champion. Also, I was talking to a guy, Sai, and he was saying that he might be able to get back on a radio show, and, you know, like how he wants to push the scene more as well. And I was like, bruv, if you do that, let me know so that we can get back, you know, because exactly what you're saying, people need to get behind the things that we think deserve to be where they are. Like maybe we weren't supporting, you know what I mean, certain radio stations enough where people felt like, oh, we should, you know, maybe we should keep them. No, they're like, no, we'll get rid of them because we need more listeners. And these people, even though this music isn't, you know, whatever, they get more listeners. And that's partly our fault. We got to kind of accept that and admit that in a way as well. And, you know, as we're pushing forward, obviously, like you said, can't do the same thing. That's another side of it as well. Not just, you know, how we release and whatnot, but even how we deal with the music in terms of the business side anyway. We don't have to make it too much like right, here's a contract and here's how, but more so just like be on point with it. Take it as serious as you do, because and when it's something you love, it doesn't feel like work. Do you know what I mean?
No.
But that's the side of it I think we definitely got to look at, man.
Bring that Kung Fu, nice.
Bring that. Right. Yeah, I don't know if we could. Well, I mean, that would be blessed if we could. I'm sure they'd let us as well. Charlie and Leo, sure they'd let us, man. They don't want to come on the show. I don't think they. You know what I mean? They don't want to come on and reminisce about them days in case tears come.
Nice. I swear, when the last time that I inquired about Kung Fu and where it belongs and the name and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
I swear that someone in Brighton.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Let's move on, man. Let's move on.
Bruv. Wrap that idea.
That whole thing, that I've forgotten about that whole. That was a whole shenanigans, boy. No wonder. Yeah, of course.
That person was putting a block on the whole move, right?
Yeah, the living block. That was block. Like, serious, man. That was Alcatraz type block.
But that's the kind of thing. Like, what?
Imagine getting cock blocked by a big ass Alcatraz sized rock. It was like, I was just about to dive in. I can't remember her name. Was it Sarah or something? I don't know. Probably, yeah. I can't even remember. But I've forgotten about that. But check it. Harry said, in our days, we had locations or events, etc., where we could all check in with each other, which is missing now. I think it definitely is missing. And also, it's the fact that we're also not used to hitting each other up, you know what I mean, on the WhatsApp or phone or whatever it is. So that's missing as well, in a sense, you know what I mean? Maybe it's something we're not used to doing, in a sense. I think, but we've all got to adapt in our former ways, I remember like the whole, I was in Miami, this is like 2001, I think. Shout out to Oshi. And it was, how many MCs? There's a few of us that managed to go to Miami. Yeah. Intense came, bruv. Intense was with us. It was hilarious, man. And Messiah. And me and Messiah, we met these chicks. I can't remember where it was, but we met them somewhere. And we was all hanging out and and then it come towards the end of the day. And then Messiah was like, the chick was like, yo, we swap emails? And he was like, yeah, here's my email, man. Yeah. And then my one was like, you got an email? I goes, nah, but give me your one, innit? And then I'll email you. She's like, all right. And then they left now. This is me to Messiah. Yo, bruv, how much is it for an email? How much he's like, what? Like, how much does it cost to get email then? Like, because I ain't... Yeah, he's like, nah, bruv, you just sign up, man. It's free. I was like, right, it's free. I was like, oh, shit. But you learn then. I was like, I better start learning this shit because it feels like this is where it's going. Get a computer, you know what I mean? Learn it all. And it's the same thing that's happening now. We just got to adapt to what type of situation we're in. Jeez, MySpace. Take it back to MySpace. Jesus, boy. The top 8.
Gleam says, "Bring back Friends Reunited." Yeah, you won't remember that.
What's Friends Reunited?
That's a deep cut. If you're, see, what's Friends Reunited? That's a very deep internet.
That sounds like before it was AOL.
That's before Facebook, everything. It was just school people meeting each other on there.
School people?
Yeah, just like your school. You went by your school, Friends Reunited, and then you had your school on there, and you all met all your old school friends on there and all that sort of thing. Probably only like 8 years after most of us had left school anyway.
Oh, serious? What, and it was online?
Yeah. I never went on there, just...
You just like, hey, how's it going?
How's it going? They're all like, sorry, we don't remember you. Oh, it's dandruff. Oh, hi.
Oh, dandruff. Oh, shit, you lot. All right, I'm going now. Mum's calling for tea. Yeah, it's dandruff and Scream for Cream right here. Did you have any nicknames when you was a kid?
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. I suppose the first one was Big Hips.
Big Hips. Yeah.
No, because my brother was Little Hips, innit?
That's
because
hilarious.
when we first moved to the flats, my brother would have been 2 years old, maybe. No, yeah. So the kids, because my mum and dad, they were squatters, yeah, and they had long hair, and like me and my brother look a little bit like, you know, a bit wild and rough around the edges. And we moved to the flats, and yeah, the kids used to thought we were like hippies and shit, like, or tramps basically. First they thought we were tramps,
Yeah.
And like they would run past the front room window and dash a brick in there. And I remember when I was young, like we were sat in the sitting room, and the brick literally come through the window, and like you could just hear a kid running off going, "Chippos!"
We can laugh about it now. It weren't funny then.
But then when me and my brother, you know, familiarized ourselves with the motley crew, like they called me Big Hips for Big Hippie, and my brother Little Hippie. So that was my first. And for some reason, I got the nickname Reebok at one point. I don't even know why. You know what I had? You remember Adidas Jet?
Adidas Jet, yeah. Oh, Adidas Jet. What do they look like again?
They look like school shoes. Like they were. Well, basically, you could get them in black, and you could
Like
wear them.
plimsolls.
Yeah, they were nice, man. Well, I don't know if they look nice now, but so I had a pair of Adidas Jet. And I can just remember people thinking they were Reebok all the time. So they used to call me, I used to say, no, they're not Reebok, they're Adidas. And so they just started calling me Reebok. And I was walking around as a 13-year-old being called Reebok for some mad reason.
Reebok.
But me and my brother still call each other Big Hips and Little Hips.
Because it sounds, you know, when you say it, then you're picturing Farma G with big hips, like as a kid, like literally with your anatomy, you know. But then you say I was hippies. So try to erase that image out of my head now. As a kid with big hips, Chesto is like 2-year-old with big hips, isn't it?
You with your dry skin, me with my dandruff.
I was called Scream for Cream. Because like I didn't know, you know, I had to cream my legs and that. And I was wearing Bermuda shorts when I went to, you lot laughing at the Bermuda shorts. You know, Bermuda shorts with the white socks and that. And I ain't gonna lie, I might have had like Gola on or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a strong look.
It's weird how now Gola is cool, innit? But back then, Gola was like, you wearing Gola. It's like a Skoda. Back then, a Skoda is like, yo, what? You driving a Skoda? Your mum drives Now, yeah. What you got? That's a Skoda, bro. Right. Yeah. Big tech.
You got a good car.
Yeah, but yeah, man, and I used to roll in to Play Center. Bruv, they called me Scream for Cream. I didn't know why until I found out I had to cream my legs. Yeah. Well, you know, you live with it, man. You live and learn. So now I always carry like shea butter with me just in case the elbows get a bit dry, you know what I mean? The lips as well. Yeah, if my lips are dry, that's it. You'll think I'm on crack. You'll be like, right, am I on crack now? Yo. Yeah, man. Old nicknames, man. Shit's funny. Yo, let's get into some Mice Investigates. Right, this week.
Let's get into some, hold on.
Oh, yeah. Dum, 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 dum. As you know, we always got to go in every week. Farms know, man. I carry this with me. Investigations. I like learning, you know what I mean? And I think it's important that we get these things out of people's minds. Let us know what you're thinking, bitches and bitchettes. This week's Mice Investigates. What was the most valuable thing you learned during lockdown? Lockdown. I learned I can blaze a lot more than I thought I could. My tolerance level, I don't think anybody could fuck with me after this lockdown, bruv. Like I think, yeah, I could outblaze the best of them. Iron Lungs is back after this lockdown was fucked up, bruv. Going through bounces every couple of days, boy. Stressed out, yeah, I gotta go shops again. Shit, man, I'm gonna be out there. The fucking zombies might get me. Yeah.
Talking of going to the shops,
Dead,
though,
real life Walking Dead, just going Sainsbury's.
I think I thought about it because we've had all week to think about it.
Yeah.
I think mine was learning that going to the shop once a week is like a really good thing that my mum and dad used to always do, and then now I do it, just one shop a week.
Yeah.
I can't stand going to the shops anymore after all this stuff. You know,
Yeah.
the only person not wearing a mask, all the rest, so we've had this real traumatic shopping event.
Yeah,
so
it's weird.
Now what I've learned is that going shopping once a week, that was really good.
That was a good idea.
Good idea that my mum and dad, I rebelled against it for a long time. 40 years of my life.
See what it takes.
It takes a global scamdemic to make you go shopping once a week.
Well, you live and you learn, man.
That's it.
Next time this happens, at least be prepared. You know to get the toilet roll early, bro. Bog roll early. You got to be on top of the bog roll. 50, 50 packs.
I am now. This
Act
time,
like that 50 packs is not there, and then start topping up again. More bog roll. So when
I'm
they're
ready. Next time I'll be ready.
When they're literally shitting themselves because they got to wipe with their hand. You're good. You'll be out there shotting 2 plays.
One ply at a time.
One ply. All right, let's get into some answers then for this week's investigation. This one, I think we got some deep answers, actually. I must say, some spiritual level answers, which is interesting. So shout to Play It Loud Studio. He says, reduce outgoings and cut the things out you don't need. Spend more time with your family and friends, just relaxing and enjoying the company. And that's real.
That sounds all right to me.
That's real, man. Like we were talking about, man, it's that inner thing. Being able to be, on your own, if that's the case, or even with your family. Like, a lot of us, sometimes it's like, I just need to get out, man. I need to get out. And, maybe it's time that we change that dynamic so you don't always feel like you need to get out, and these are the sort of times that can aid that, I think. Things are becoming more real to people. Shout to Mr. DJ Random. He says, being a burglar is dangerous. Yeah, boy. I'm sure it is. Not unless you're the awkward thief, of course. It didn't work properly. Sosa, shout out to Sosa NYC. This is Homeboy Soundman's DJ. He says, most valuable thing I learned, I never locked down to begin with. There's certain people that, I was like, bruv, I knew you knew what was going on already, man, from day one. Shout to Gibberish, man. Gibberish has been dropping some new stuff. Do you remember Gibberish from... Iron Bridge, Iron Bridge. Jeez. See, people they're popping back out, Farms.
Yeah, oh no, I chatted to them. I've been chatting to them.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I've been chatting to them. Yeah.
Say no more. See the way he said it? Yeah, you already know what that means. I've been chatting to them. Yeah. Gibberish, man. It's good to hear he's back out. He says not to watch Amityville Horror with my family and get any ideas. See, that's stressful at home, boy. You know what I mean? You get stressful at home, but you got to work with that dynamic. All right, so I don't know if I should go into this one because it might get her in trouble. Shout out to Nicole Kisser in the building. She said, where would I want to start? I've learned a lot over these last 18 months. Definitely an eye-opener. These times have been for us. And she didn't really want to elaborate for some reason because she felt she might get in trouble. So I'll leave that there.
She said on the chat, it took me almost 12 years to get Mr. Kisser to let me do online shopping. Was it the lockdown that let her start online shopping?
Dun, dun, dun. We have a married couple in the chat room. Yeah, the Kissers. The Kisser couple.
Such a good name for a couple as well.
Kisser couple.
The Kissers.
The Kissers, for real, with it. Yeah, man. But yeah, we love the chat room here. Shout to Greg Blackman, man. Another talented mother lover. He said lockdown pretty much killed the idea that I'm a genuinely misanthropic person. Turns out that not only do I actually like human contact and being around people, I need it to stay happy and well. See, that's human life right there. We need contact. It's funny that they're trying to stop us from contacting each other, don't you think? It's a bit strange out there.
They want to know who you're contacting through contact tracing.
See, we bait up Nicole Kissa, I think. I don't think. Yo, shout to Steve Horse. He said that it meant fuck all. I was more active with my hound, all golf clubs closed, so some serious walking was done with mates while smoking joints. 4 months off work, fully paid, lost some weight. Hey, you're one of the few people that did that, boy. We're talking about lost some weight. A lot of people were like, yeah, I've got that. You got lockdown weight. Yeah, you got some lockdown weight, boy. That other chin's try to grow another chin. He said, not really a lesson, but taking full advantage. Yeah, man. That's one thing that happened for me was I managed to get a lot of time in and do a lot of reading and then learning stuff that I might not have been, you know what I mean? I might not have never known nothing about. I might have thought I did, but then once you start diving in, you're like, oh, wow. And realizing how this world works, man. It's really enlightening and empowering at the same time. Who else is there? Wow. Milva B said the insignificance of everything. That change starts with yourself, not the rest of the world. See that there? This is what I'm saying. That change starts with yourself, not the rest of the world. Farma was talking about that earlier in a different way. But literally, that's what it is. It's like us deciding to change and then making that change. And it starts from within. You know what I mean? Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. Ratty the Sly. He's getting deep now. So he said self-worth is a big thing, and to have confidence in my abilities. Being able to practice daily helped too, because I've improved skill while, what does he say? While hugely, it says wise, but while hugely over the last year. Oh, he's improved skill-wise hugely over the last year. I don't know why, it must be Blaze, man. Yeah. But see, people are getting deep out there, man, and I think it's a beautiful thing, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? To see that there's more of a self-realization going out there in the world as well, going on out there, where people
even
are really...
if only 10% more people are a bit more self-aware, that's a good thing.
Yeah, because it means it's growing and it carries on. It may not be to the extreme that we want it to, but it means that it's happening, and there are people taking the time to do it as well, like really find themselves and learn what makes them happy. You know what I mean? Like value. Where people are getting excited, oh yeah, I want to go, oh, I want to do this, just because you can't do it. But if you could do it, you wouldn't be going on like that. So why do you need to, you know? But they can't help themselves, I guess. Right, Kenny Rebel Westy said he learned to be an engineer and live frugally like a student. Yeah, that's the random shit, man. Engineer, yeah, I'm an engineer now. No.
Fitting 5G
Can I get half of that? What you say, fitting 5G?
Made a killing.
Yo, what else have we got? So Rob Darkhalf, he says, I enjoy my own space more than I thought. Kind of valuable when you're single. You see? Kind of valuable when you're single as well. But think about that. I enjoy my own space. A lot of these... It's sad to see that some people can't handle it, but I think that's the thing you got to overcome is like, look, it's all right to be by yourself and listen to yourself. And then also, you're not really alone when you think about it, man. There are a bunch... Look how many people are talking about that, being on their own and... You know, so you're not alone. There's a bunch of others.
You could say that you're not alone in your loneliness, isn't it?
See it there? Yeah, man. That's because a perfect way to put it.
There's a lot of people in it. There's a lot of people that are lonely.
That's right.
But they're not alone.
No, you need something called Lonely Space, where all lonely people join.
You know what I was going to say, though, as well, on the... I think people can think too much, like, and that's what sends a lot of people down dark tunnels, and that's sometimes what sets the trap to ensnare their mind to be preoccupied with anything else. Like, it doesn't matter what you're overthinking, but I think overthinking anything, it's like what they say about taking everything in, modesty. And the same with a train of thought. If you think too much, then you're preoccupied with that thought, which takes away the focus from a lot of other stuff that is just as important to be thinking about, or just even looking after yourself. And your mind can deteriorate quite rapidly when you just follow one train of thought.
Yeah, it's very true. It's sometimes it is the best thing you can do when you've got stuff on your mind is to try and forget about it. It's difficult. It's difficult to say that as well.
Yeah, it is difficult, but like definitely having not enough to think about. When you just start making it smaller and smaller, and then you just got this one focus all the time. It's that, and sometimes some stuff doesn't have a definitive answer.
Right.
So, and this is what the government will hand you, and they've always handed you. They've handed you conversations or idealisms that have no answers. They have no end. So your mind is preoccupied with trying to find the conclusion to what, and that's dangerous for people who think too much or susceptible to being influenced.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of people who are influenced too easily, and you can be given a whole set of things to think about, and then a whole heap of drama unravels because it's too much for that little brain to understand or comprehend. That there may not be an answer to what they've just been handed. So they could spend literally the rest of their life looking for the answer to a question that has no answer.
So you're not a flat earther then?
No, listen, mate. Man, I've been there with the best of them. Like
we just had this conversation last couple of weeks. It's come up, the flat Earth thing, and it's like the conclusion we've sort of come to is what difference does it actually make if you're just going to go to the shops every day and just going to play computer games? It don't matter what shape the Earth is.
That's exactly right, Dan. As hopefully when we all mature and we get a little bit more understanding of oneself and understanding of our surroundings and the people and the devices that are used to entrap us and all the other stuff to play a certain role in society and all them kind of things. Once we get old enough and mature enough to understand these things, then hopefully we won't waste all our time thinking or spewing about certain one. I don't mind what anyone thinks.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a hoot, like if you've been vaxxed or not vaxxed. I couldn't give a hoot if this person thinks that thing or this person thinks another thing. What is a shame is when people are so like
adverse.
Well, they're crazy with it.
Focused in on it,
But you see them on the news and even that, like, you don't even know if that's true, but you got all these factions of society that are fighting each other and opposing each other all the time, and it's all these idealisms that, like, mate, come on, like it's not living, because it's just shouting at each other to believe what I think. It's like, this is what I think. You idiot, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. And it's like, mate, I couldn't give a shit what you're trying to say because I don't care. And that's really, I can't let this, what's up here, be infiltrated or poisoned by external forces, whatever they are. Because up here is the only thing that we have. If that starts being used by things outside of oneself, it's like, then what the hell is going to be happening there then? And that's what I mean. People's not making their own decisions anymore. They're not thinking for themselves anymore. So then there is no alternative way of thinking, because what's alternative about flat Earth? What's alternative about anti-vax? What's alternative about Christianity against Muslims? There's no alternative, because it's all so mainstream. It's all mainstream. So, you know what I mean? It's like, what's different? Nothing. It's all the same. So we're all just shouting at each other, trying to say I'm right.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the theme we've been talking about as well through these podcasts, is like the fact that a lot of stuff out there that people are ranting and raving about and you know, waving their flag about is not even real. It's artificial. It's all like man-made stuff. It's not made from, you know, like nature. It's like someone named it and then said, you're that. Now you tick that box, and now you know, all these years ticking that box, now you feel like that's you, when it actually isn't you. And until people, you know, that's the whole thing about know thyself, innit? Until people realize that, it's forever. There's always going to be throwing these boxes at you for you to tick and go, oh yeah, I'm that as well. Yeah, I represent. Oh, if you're not, I hate you because you're not that, you know? It's non-stop. But yeah, I think it, you know, there's the levels of growth. We've got the physical side, obviously, you know, mental growth, but then there's a spiritual side that I think is just totally missing. And it's missing to the point where even if you say that shit, people will go, oh, fucking hell, yeah. You know, and I'm not talking about religion or nothing like that. I'm on about being, you know, sort of, you know, even being able to handle being alone by yourself. There's something spiritual to that, you know, whether it's meditating or whatnot. But because people, you know, were so stimulated by this, that, and the third, all these different artificial things, you never get that focus and you never really do find yourself. So that's why you're always this lost person that is trying to attach yourself to all these different things, and then, you know, that sort of hidden anger underneath it all comes out. Whoever is kind of adverse to what you're trying to push or what you've attached yourself to.
Absolutely, man. See, it's like the everyone's drawn to the disagreement. Yeah. It's like the argument is the food. That's what it seems now, and it just goes back to that old one of divide and conquer. Yeah, divide and conquer. Yeah, man. It's the Hegelian dialectic, man. It's the oldest one, and it's the one that rings true to me in my mind. If I think about it, if I look at the news, if I think about what I hear people talking about, and see what people write about on the socials and stuff, everyone's divided. So I mean, come on, man, we're just a sitting duck, aren't we? Really, at the end of the day.
We're not looking at where they got us pointing left, right, and centre, and not looking where we should be looking, which is up. Like, oh, it's them. Yeah. Like, they're against all of us here. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, man. But, you know, I mean, I'm just glad that, like I said, man, you were schooling, man, about that shit from way back already within the music. And I'm glad that I was able to hear it and not forget about that type of shit. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of people that they've kind of been lost in this world of, you know, this matrix now. But, you know, thankfully there's quite a few of us, and boy, appreciate that, brother. Like, to put those sort of things in your music in the first place and not worry about whether people think you're paranoid or you're this or that, you know what I mean, is already one thing.
They did definitely, you know, like we started getting labelled with like the emo rap. Do you know what I mean?
For real.
For real. I mean, there's a time and place for everything, man. But I do believe, man, you can get seriously lost in, like I was trying to say before. It doesn't matter what it is you're thinking about, and when you get deep into conspiracy theories and like the idea of like these plots and that plots and the Blue Beam Project and all these different little things that you can find out about. That's a wicked one. I like that one.
Is going in, boy. He's going in. Jeez.
No, but I found that like a long time ago, and I read the papers. I mean, it's mate, if I had a lot of money, I would just hand that into a director of a film company and say, boom, there's the film. That's the film we're going to make, because that it reads like a film, and it's got everything in it. It's got all the action and the catastrophe that you could possibly want. You just need to throw Bruce Willis in there, and it's a wrap. Like, but you can get lost in all of that stuff. You can really, really badly get lost, especially if you like, you know, you might be susceptible to certain stuff. And at them times, I would have been smoking a lot, Maestro. I'd have smoked a lot of weed, and it didn't help me to have the. I suffered a bit from the weed psychosis, and maybe I should just never have smoked in the first place. But it didn't do anything good for my mind, and especially when you mix that up in a bowl of conspiracy theories and the world's against you, mate. Like, you know,
doom and gloom.
Yeah,
you got the doom and gloom t-shirt on.
Really debilitating, you know what I mean? It kind of took the wheels off my vehicle for quite a long time of my life, where, you know, you want to be part of society, don't you, as a person? But then when you start believing, like, in full, that, yo, there's a conspiracy against me, like, then you're losing. When it's like, you know what I mean? So that's why I was saying, like, when you pinpoint stuff, and, you know, we just want to go out and have a nice time and chat about stuff and have a laugh and disagree and laugh about it.
And we should be okay to disagree as well.
That's what I'm saying. Another thing. That's healthy. That's healthy, where you can sit down and you can say, yeah, what do you think about lip fillers? Does the girl like a fish, or is she doing it for herself to look good, or like all about what's behind it? And everyone should be able to have a laugh and feel good about that conversation. Or even if it's like, well, have you been vaccinated? Why not, sir? No, we can still have that
the conversation. Yeah, that's the thing. People, but it's weird how they don't even want to talk. You know, they don't want to talk about it. And then also, I think what I feel like is there's too much emotion attached to whatever the situation is. And so even to have a conversation about it is hard for a lot of people.
Because Mice, people are dying.
Yeah, they're really scared, man. Yeah.
So if millions of people are dying all around the world and you ain't being vaxxed, then, mate, like, you're to blame.
Yeah.
And if you ain't at it because you're just trying to see if it works and everyone don't die in a couple of years, then you're out of order for doing it.
You're still to blame, yeah.
You're not part of the team.
It's mad, man. It's mad.
Like, you know, who's to say? Who's to say anything? It's like, I live in my house with my wife and my 2 kids. My wife's been vaccinated. I ain't got an issue with that. I ain't got an issue with that. She wouldn't be able to go work if she never got vaccinated. So how am I going to have an issue with it? I ain't been vaccinated. She ain't got an issue with that. What's she going to do? Chuck me out because I ain't been vaccinated? But this is the kind of temperature that this one is going to reach, because
you're right.
It's that important to some people, and they just want to argue.
Yeah, that's the sad part, man. That's pretty profound what you're saying, man. The fact that both of you didn't do the same thing, but you're still together and you're cool with it, and that's how it should be. It was like that before with any other quacks anyway. It was already like that. So how comes all of a sudden now people are like, oh, we're getting a divorce. Oh, I've left my husband. Or you're like, what? Like, so you can't even sit down and talk about it and try and learn from each other if it needs to be. It's like, yo, this is crazy. They've really got into people's heads in some crazy way, man. But yeah, there's a lot of prayer hands out there, man. Love out there. See, that's real love. You know what I mean? You ain't meant to be arguing about. Don't let them come into your situation and make you have turmoil with your family, with this one and that one, over some external. Do you know what I mean? The bottom line is, the people who can see it, and people who can hear it can hear it. The people that can't, we can't. It's hard not to, but we can't be mad at them because, you know what I mean? They're scared, man. Like a lot of the people that have had to do it, they're doing it because they're scared.
Yeah.
Some people are like, yo, I need to go on holiday, or, you know,
Yeah, it's
obviously, like
holiday.
you said, some people work. But so if they're already that scared and now they've done it, like the last thing we should be doing is making them feel even more scared with, you know what I mean? Because trust, it's going to hit us, man. When people, if bam, 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 we'll be like, yo, you know, so people shouldn't wish for it, man.
Nice. On a level as well, it's like, what happened to just everyone just having a little bit of decent respect for each other, like, and just being able to make, like, I respect anybody else's idea of how they want to live their life. It's completely up to them. It's completely up to them. And what they do shouldn't and will not impact on how I want to live mine.
Exactly.
And that should be the end of it. And a debate is healthy. An argument is healthy as long as everyone's cool afterwards. A fight, a riot, a culling, being pariahs and all the rest of it, that's just madness, and it's nonsense. It's nonsense. And again, why I always revert back to the beginning, for me personally, the divide one, when they divide you, then you're at your weakest. And right now, you can see the world is in turmoil. It couldn't be more divided. The humans ain't stand together in their own countries, let alone look across to the next man's land and say, yeah, we need to like stand up for these guys over here. Like, what's happening in Haiti and all them kind of places right now? Like, shit, man. You know, that last one, the earthquake or whatever in 2004 or whatever, mate, the amount of people that died in that earthquake, and then they've just had another one, and then straight away after they got some next shit going on. It's like, do we care?
Yeah.
Do we actually fucking care?
You just get it on the news, and then it's the next bunch of news the next day, and then some next news the next day.
We don't care about what's going on here. How are we going to? Because we're divided, completely and utterly divided. So how are we going to rectify this problem that the world is having? What's to be done? So, like, I'm just like, all right, bless everyone. You do what you're doing. I'm going to do what I'm doing, because when the shit goes down, you better be ready. You just got to put your head down.
And that's the part, I guess, that people kind of say, though. They're like, okay, but it is affecting me because I can't do the things I would normally do. And then, you know, it's kind of hard to say to them, like, you know, well, just hold tight or whatever, you know. They have a point. When it gets like this, you're like, right, so hold on a minute. You know, because of all of this, I've got to now suffer. You know, like the businesses that have, you know, had to close down, and, you know, jobs that have been lost and whatnot. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. But, you know, I think, yeah, like you said, the people that know, it's like, yeah, you got to now start working out how you're going to be prepared for whatever, because you can see how it is now, you know, rather than sit there and fingers crossed and hope that someone walks on water, comes and saves you. You know, like you said, when the shit goes down, you better be ready. So I guess that's what we got to do, man. Start communicating more. Don't just sit there and feel like, oh, it's like, yo, let's chat. You know, come outside the box. If it is getting to you mentally, talk about it, man. You need to get it out of your mind, like, and that's the best way. Whether you write it down or you talk to someone, these are good ways of getting it out of your mind and not, you know, letting it eat at you on the inside, man. And don't be afraid. Like, we're all here together. We're all, regardless. If you feel like you're on your own, but what was it? Well, how did you put it earlier? You had a wicked phrase earlier.
You're not alone in your loneliness.
Yeah, you're not alone in your loneliness. That's what you got to realize. Like, everyone else is fit at some point in whether it's the day or the week or whatever. There are people like, yo, reality is just like bam, 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 and you're like, okay, cool. You know, and you know, trust, man, we'll get through this for sure, man. I'm telling you, it can't last this long and people don't really understand. They don't really wake up. So the bottom line is, everyone look after yourself. Make sure you keep yourself healthy. Don't worry about all that BS.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Keep yourself in good spirits. Keep your family in good spirits. Now we know what really matters. Like last night, I was at the Tyre event, and man, just to see all these different faces: Shawnee T, Black Twang, Terry Walker, Tremendous was there. The freshers like Archer, Scheme was there. Big Cakes was there. You know what I mean? It was just bam, 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 and it just felt like old school. Like that energy. That old school energy, we're here now, but just that energy of like seeing people like, yo, I ain't seen you for time. All right, bro, it's good to see you, like strong hugs and all that. So, it felt good. And at the same time, we're in this digital world. Let's, people just need to start learning how to text a bit quicker. That's all. Man need to learn how to download from WeTransfer. There's a certain man, they don't know how to use WeTransfer yet. I'm struggling with shit. Yo, how do I email the thing? Like, bring a hard drive, yeah? I'll burn it onto a CD.
You see, WeTransfer, yeah?
Yeah.
There's another one called P-Cloud.
Yeah, that's what I use, yeah.
Yeah, P-Cloud is live, man.
Banging, man.
It's got the little, what's it called in it? And the player.
Yeah. It's got the player. You can like build folders in it as well. Like, it's wicked. You can just upload, and then you can build a different folder with it.
WeTransfer is for when you're trying to be sly, because it's only got a week on it, and you send it to someone, and you're thinking, they're gonna even check it before the week is done. That's them sly ones, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, this shit's funny though, man. All the different apps and all that. What's your favorite app then? Nah, let me say this. I thought this was beautiful, man. I said to Farma earlier today, I was like, bruv, send me your number so I'll text you when, so we could do the tester in it with the Skype and whatnot. Bruv, hit me back. Bruv, I don't have a phone. I'll hit you. I was like, yo, that's how I know things are calm for you, boy.
I don't have a phone, man. The wife don't have a phone. She's never had a phone. Obviously, she's got a house phone.
Yeah.
People say, yo, what's a house phone? No, but when I met the wife, she was like, I don't have a mobile phone. And I was like, shit. And then I started realizing how much I never put this flipping thing down. So, 8 years, I think 8 years now, I ain't had a phone.
8 years?
Yeah.
Right, you're not playing around, boy.
No, but I mean, like, this is it, though. Like, if we're talking about the things we're talking about and we're going to take them seriously, like, we let go of these things, right?
You're right, bruv. You're right. You know what I hate? This is the thing about the phone, is everything comes to it now. Everything, like email, text, call, your Insta, your Twitter, and it's like, and they really made it like, this is part of you. This is an extension of you now. Like,
yeah, you know what as well, Mike? When I stopped using the phone, like the little, like the message chime and the email chime and all the different little noises, is so burnt into your mind, the pitch and the tone, that for months after, like I would hear something. Obviously, I didn't have my phone on me because I didn't have a phone, but you would hear a ping or a piece of music, and I'd suddenly be touching my pocket where my phone is, because it's burnt.
Yeah.
It's into you, like the little noise. Like
yeah, you're right.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I just had a flashback of doing that shit for real, And
like,
you just like, right, I thought I heard the phone. Yeah.
When you check the phone, when I used to have a Siemens phone back in the day, and it used to go like that. That used to be the ring, the message or something like that. But like, I would hear it, and I think, hey, wait, I ain't even got that phone. It's like, what am I talking about? It's like iPhone nowadays, but it's definitely something to think about, man. It's like when people are saying, yeah, I'm gonna be vegan and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, think about putting the phone down as well. Like, because, no, but like, yeah,
That's
we'll
true.
save the planet and that by not eating all these cows and all them ones. But at the same time, the phone is killing you, man. Like, it's not killing. It's not necessarily killing the guy next to you or the next guy, or it's causing all the methane to kill the ozone layer or whatever that crap is. But like, it's killing you, isn't it? Individually, like one by one. It's and if it ain't killing you, like giving you cancer or radio waves in your brain, it's killing your actual fucking up here. Like it's melting your capabilities.
Yo, Mr.
You rely on it, right? What's the first thing when I wake up? First thing I do is I draw for the MacBook and start looking at what's going down.
And it's the same thing, innit? There's radio waves from that as well, innit?
Yeah, but luckily I can't put the MacBook in my pocket. And or else I wouldn't put it down. Because addiction is something that we all seem very susceptible to these days. It used to just be like the weed smokers and the drug addicts and the drinkers. Now it's the social networkers, the influencers, the addiction right and center, isn't it?
Insta models.
Yeah. Calm phone down. Can't put them down.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. So, all right. So that means you didn't have a phone for. You said you haven't had a phone for 8 years. So roughly what? You had a phone for roughly about 10 years then.
No, like I had a phone from the start. I had a phone from the start of mobiles.
Well, the one-to-one days, like, or before then.
Yeah, way back.
Did you have one of the massive brick ones, the fixed area?
Was it Motorola 88 or something like that?
I couldn't afford them big bricks, man. But you like the little Mars bar phones and all the little BT. Remember BT come with one, and everyone got the 0956 days.
Yeah, that's the one-to-one, innit? It started, wasn't it T-Mobile? But it started off as one-to-one, innit? And it was one-to-one. Imagine, you get this little spot phone, innit? Remember, it was like
one-to-one. Was it not Mercury? Was it
Mercury one-to-one. That was it. Wow, Mercury. That's funny, man. Mercury is the messenger to the gods. Fucking hell. So Mercury one-to-one.
You know them 0956 numbers that if you still have one, they're worth so much money.
Yeah, I know, man. I had one. I can't remember what happened anyway with it, but one-to-one, and it was like, get this mobile, and you can call landlines free after 7, innit?
Yeah.
But when you called another mobile, it was like P, it was ridiculous, whatever. So everyone gets one of them, and now they're out and about. They're not at home anymore, so you can't make the free call to anyone's yard. Or what people would do is like, I'm at this phone box. What's the number? Yeah, call me on this number, innit? That type of thing. Oh, what the fuck, man? But that's how they got us hooked from then. I need one of these. I got to have one of these. I can't go. What? You getting a new mobile? People queuing up for a new mobile every 6 months.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
What kind of madness is that, man?
That's how you save the planet. You just keep using new phones every 6 months and mining all that stuff, mining all their metals.
Someone will be building a house out of phones soon and saying this is the way forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Harry said, man, had that from Dave for real, boy. 07956. What was it? No, 0956. Yeah, I don't reel out the number. It's an easy number to remember, though. Jesus, man. Those were the days, boy.
Harry Love, remember knocking for people.
Yeah, knocking. It's true.